welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you are returning, you already know it. You are fabulous. Welcome everybody. All right, thank you so much for being here with me today. Let's get started. DIY number 1. So for this one, I have got this doormat that I picked up at the Dollar General store. Picked this up for $5. Too cute. Also got some of the yard stakes. They're like tomato stakes. They come from the Dollar General. They were $1 a piece. And then I've got some foam board from Dollar Tree. Now the first thing I did was lay my mat out on top of my foam board and then take my my yard sticks, or not yard sticks, but tomato stakes, whatever you want to call them, laid those out, measured those off. I'm going to take those outside and cut them. I'm now taking some Aleene's tacky glue that I absolutely love for projects like this. It just works so great. I'm going to flip this mat over and end up putting this on the back of the mat, just all over it. I just squeeze it out all over this dude. Quite a bit, because this mat's going to be heavy and I really want it to stick to that foam board good. So I just smear it in with a paintbrush, making sure that I get it around the edges really well. Flip it over, stick it to the foam board. All right, now I have got some burnt umber by Apple Barrel and also my spray bottle. Look at the mist. This is just a misting spray bottle. I love it because it does not get everything like too wet, but it's just enough. Now I wet down my pieces, my yard stakes, and then I'm going to put the paint on there, and we're just going to stain these with that burnt umber. I love the color that it gives. I think it's perfect. I like doing it this way as opposed to like watering down your paint and then painting them, because I'm not wasting any paint, water, nothing. I'm not wasting anything. I know just as much as I need, and I'm just going to paint these all the way around. All 4 sides. Now, I could have just done 3 sides, but whatever. I went ahead and did all 4. But I'm just going to paint them all the way, make sure I get the ends, and then go back and wipe them off with a towel. Perfectly stained. Look how easy it cleans up. Wipe it right off with a sponge. All right, now, I've got some ivory chalk paint by Waverly and also a chip brush. I'm just going to get a little bit of paint on my brush, wipe it off on a towel. You could wipe it off on a paper towel. It doesn't matter. Just wipe it off a little bit and then go back and dry brush these pieces. Now, these pieces dry brushed really well. They were kind of rough. I mean, they probably could have used a good sanding, but I did not do that. So they really grabbed that paint and dry brushed so well. Look at how pretty that is. They really turned out great. Yes, look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now I've got everything ready. My doormat is now glued to the foam board. I'm now going to take my yard stake pieces and we're going to frame this out. I'm just using hot glue. I've done this before with hot glue and it holds up perfectly. So that's all I added. You could use some wood glue if you would like to, but now the hot glue has worked out for me perfect. But I'm just going to finish this off. We're going all the way around it. This was so simple, and this is such a big piece, y'all. Pretty, and it's so big. I took a box cutter and just went around the edges to cut off that excess foam board, and that's it. This is done. Check this out, y'all. This is a huge piece. So pretty. Moving right along, DIY number 2. For this one, I have got 2 of these drawer-looking little boxes that come from the Dollar Tree. I've got this little picture holder that got from the Dollar General store, and then I have got 2 dowel rods that I picked up at Walmart. I believe they were like 43 cents a piece or something. All right, now I just held my dowel rod up, took my 2 boxes, held those up. And you're going to see my son's hands here for a minute. He helped me out a little bit here. I was having trouble holding it up, and then figuring out how to mark off my dowel rod. So he marked it for me. I then went back, made the line. I'm going to take my miter shears and cut these dowel rods. I need 4 pieces. I will have a link in the description box for those miter shears. They come from Amazon. They're about $15, I think, 12 or 15, and they work great. Now, they work great for dowel rods and stuff like that. Paint sticks, they're a little tough to squeeze. But anyways, I cut up my dowel rods. I'm then going to just pull off the sticker, pull the little hanger part out of the picture thing. We're going to paint this with an ivory chalk paint by Waverly. Now, I went ahead and painted the dowel rods also. Not really sure why I did, because we're going to go back with some antique wax and go right back over the top of these. But anyways, I did paint those. I took my heat gun, dried them in between. I'll have a link in the description box for that heat gun also. That thing is a game changer. I love it. Now, I'm taking that antique wax and I'm just going right over the top of where we just painted. And like I said, we're going to end up going over the dowel rods too. If you were to recreate this, I suggest that you just stain your dowel rods. Just go over the dowel rods with the antique wax. Don't worry about painting them with the ivory first. I have no idea why I did that. But anyways, I did. We're going to make it work. So I'm going over those with my antique wax with a baby wipe. That way I can just kind of put it on and wipe it off as much as I want to. Just get it just right on there. I kind of just wanted everything to be cohesive and match. So that's why we're doing the ivory and then the antique wax. That way they would kind of match the boxes pretty good. Once again, going in with that heat gun. Now, I'm taking a little small handle chippy brush, and I am just going to go right around the corners of these boxes. Now, I think that these boxes look way better distressed like this than as opposed to like doing the entire box. I think when you just accent those corners, it really, really sets it off. And as you can see there, I got a little too much, and all I did was take a baby wipe and wipe it right back off and then redo it. Super simple, worked out perfect. But like I said, I'm strictly doing the corners. Now, I'm taking some Starbond thick multi-purpose adhesive. I'm going to put it on one side, put my accelerator on the other, pop that on top, and that dude is stuck. Now, I'm just going to add a little bit more of that multi-purpose adhesive. It's like super glue is what it is. It's made by Starbond. There will be a link in the description box for it and also a discount code for y'all. I'm just adding my little half beads. I get these half beads on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description box for those also. But like I said, they're just little half beads. They one side of them is rounded. The other side is flat. So I'm just adding some of that super glue and then going in with my half beads. I'm going to go all the way around the top of this. It's just, you know, added a little accent to it. I thought it would just really kind of up the look to this. So that's why I wanted to add those half beads. I go back in with some of the antique wax, cover those half beads. I'm going to take my dowel rods and add some hot glue to the very bottom and then put that right in the corner of each, or put one in each corner of this box. Just making sure that they're good and secure. Popping those in there. Now, when I go to put the lid on, I realize that it's just a little bit too tall. I didn't cut it down enough. So I cut my dowel rod down. I then take that piece and hold it up to all the other dowel rods and cut those down. That way I can make sure that I'm cutting them all even. So like I said, just holding it up there and then snipping that off. That way, when I put my lid back on or my top, it's all going to sit flat and level and everything will be just right. Now, just adding a little hot glue to the very tip of these dowel rods. And that, you know, it'll kind of ooze down, and that we want it to do that so that it'll really stick in those corners. But I just placed my dowel rods in each corner. That's all I did to this. I dry brushed this with a little ivory paint. And I stinking love this. Oh my goodness, y'all. All right, DIY number 3. So for this one, I've got 2 of these bowls that I picked up in the wedding section at the Dollar Tree. The first thing I'm going to do is take my heat gun and remove the stickers. Y'all, look how easy it is to get these stickers off with the heat gun. And anybody that has ever tried to take a sticker off of something that came from the Dollar Tree, you know the struggle is real. So I'm telling you, that heat gun, that dude comes in handy in more ways than one. I'm going to hot glue these 2 bowls together. Now, if you recreate this, be super careful because that plastic gets some kind of hot, okay? So it's not that easy to keep it pressed together, but it does end up sticking. So no big deal, but it does, that plastic does get super hot. Now I'm taking some ivory chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm just going to paint both of these bowls and then about halfway down on the top, on the inside. I'm then taking some antique wax by Waverly. I've also got a chip brush, and I'm just going to go in and start painting this. Now, I wouldn't really call this dry brushing because I've got quite a bit of that antique wax on my brush, but I'm really wanting to mainly hit those high points where the lines are in these bowls so that will really stand out. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just putting it on pretty heavy, just making sure that I'm hitting all those spots. This turns out so cool. It's so different, so simple, number 1, to make. And it's different. It's very unique. So just went around the inside of it with my antique wax also, just to make sure that everything looks right. Everything, if you put flowers or whatever down in it, you're not going to see the inside. So I took some twine. I'm going to wrap it around the middle. I just didn't like where the 2 bowls met. I felt like it was missing something there. So I decided to take some twine, wrap it around there. I'm just going to snip it off, add a little bit of hot glue, and secure that down. Super, super simple, y'all. And I get that twine at Walmart. Now, I added some greenery lamb's ear that I got at Walmart, and also a big candle that I picked up at the Five Below. I think it was only like $3.25 actually. And then I've got some ribbon that I got from Walmart. Y'all, I just tied a bow around the middle of this with that ribbon, dovetailed my ends, and that's all I did to this. This is completely done, and it is so stinking pretty. Like, what? It's so different, y'all, but I love it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this one for sure. All right, last but not least, DIY number 4. For this one, I have got a shovel that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I've got my elephant chalk paint. I've also got my metallic by Folk Art. I have my black chalkboard paint that I pick up at the Dollar Tree. And then I've also got the burnt umber by Apple Barrel. Now, I'm going to be using all of those paints, but I start out with the elephant, completely cover this little shovel. Totally cover it, front and back. I'm then going to go in with the silver by Folk Art, and I'm using a Dollar Tree brush, just putting that on there. I then take a sponge brush and add in my black and also the burnt umber. And I just think this turned out so stinking great. It looks like it's rusty and old and used, and it just turned out perfect. Now, I had a little word that I picked up from the Hobby Lobby. It says welcome, and I just painted that with my chalkboard paint. Real quick, just went right over the top of that. Now, we've got everything together, so now it's time to kind of assemble this. I have got some ribbon that I picked up at the Dollar General store. I ended up using the black instead of the gray. And then I've also got some of these ranunculus. I think I'm saying that right. I work at a florist shop, y'all, and I can't say it, but that's okay. Anyways, I picked these up at Walmart, and I just go, yeah, check that out. Look at that. That would be a set of the Dollar Tree wire cutters. Do not waste your money. They broke the very first time I tried to use them. So anyways, I grabbed my good ones. I'm just going to snip all of these flowers off. I wanted them all single, like single stems, so that I can kind of bunch them together the way that I want them. But Just took my wire cutters, snipped these off real quick. Y'all, this turns out so stinking cute, and I love it because I'm giving it to a friend of mine. She was actually talking about getting an old rake and adding some flowers and greenery or whatever to it. And when I saw this shovel, I was like, oh my gosh, this would be so perfect for Rita. So I got a good friend that I'm actually making this for, and I'm going to give it to her after the video. So anyways, I took those flowers, got some twine. I just tied them up, tied them together so that they would stay in this little bunch together. Just going to snip that off and then kind of hide it with the leaves, but we end up hiding it with the ribbon anyway. So, and I did go through and kind of turn my heads of my flowers like pointing upwards. That way when they were laying flat on the rake, you would see it. Now this bow I learned to do at the florist shop that I work at. You pinch your two ribbon together. You're going to make a loop, pinch it in the middle again, twist it, and make another loop. Pinch it in the middle, twist it, make another loop. Pinch it in the middle, twist it, make another loop. Y'all, it's so simple to do. It's just a matter of getting your fingers right. If you can ever get your one hand right where you can hold that, this bow is so stinking simple to make. So once you've got all your loops made, you're just going to snip off the end. And my black, I actually had to get another roll of black to finish this. But anyway, so you cut off another piece of your ribbon. You're going to take your loops that you've already got made. You've got your loops. They're all pinched in the middle. Lay that down and tie a double knot right in the middle where you had that pinch at. So simple, guys. Like I said, just double knot it. Now the fun part. You're just going to fluff it out. So I just separated each one of those loops. Just fluff it out real good. Get your tails all right. Now, I did dovetail the ends of my tails. You don't have to do that. I just like it. I think it looks nice. But this bow is so pretty, and it's so simple to make, y'all. Now, I'm just going to add my welcome word to my little shovel. Just putting a very little bit of hot glue on the back of it. Pop that down. Now, I did decide to take some twine and tie these flowers to this rake. Rake, listen at me. Shovel, I mean. Now I'm thinking about that rake that she wanted made. So I tied it to the shovel. Now, I decided to hot glue my ribbon on, though. So, I just added hot glue right there where my twine was, added my ribbon, and this is done. This is so stinking cute, y'all. And now for the final reveal. I hope that y'all enjoy. All right, y'all, that is it for today. I am so happy that you guys were with me. I thank you so, so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. It definitely helps my channel. Don't forget to share this with your friends and family and subscribe. That would be awesome. Also, hit that notification bell so that you will know each time I upload a new video. Don't forget to check me out over on Instagram and also Facebook. Now, Instagram is a great place to connect with me. I post lots of personal stuff over on Instagram. So it's bless.beyond.measure.crafts. That's where you can find me on Instagram. Thank y'all so much for watching, and y'all have a blessed day.